actually, first let's talk All-Star. Let's talk All-Star selections just a little bit because the voting is in. Dodgers have 3 starters. Is it 3? Yeah, we got Mookie, you got JD, and you got Mookie Betts' friend Freddie Freeman. So well represented there. Will Smith, snub or not snub? I mean, you can't say Sean Murphy is not having a good year, and he's been healthy all year. As Will missed a couple of weeks with that concussion.
Yeah, I think you start right there. Is it a snub? No, it's not a snub. A snub is because it's not a snub because it's a fan vote. The fans vote. The fans voted. Hey, me, I had an alarm set. I was voting 5 times a day. When my wife's phone was there, I take it. I vote for him a couple of days. I see random people on the street. I ask if I can see their phone for a second. I vote there. So I was voting as much as I possibly could, but you can't call it a snub because it's a fan vote. They wanted Sean Murphy. Also, to me, it's if JT Realmuto was starting over Will Smith, then I'd be pounding my fist. I'd be screaming right now. But the fact is, Sean Murphy, who's also put together a very quality season. If I told you these 2 players, Clint, without telling you their names, who would you have as the starter? Sean Murphy, a 150 weighted runs created plus, 14 doubles. Well, I actually did tell you the player right there.
You kind of told me the player.
Sorry, I meant player B, but hey, why not? So if you look at it, it's razor thin. Smith, a 149 weighted runs created plus, so 49% above league average. Murphy, 50% above league average. Smith, 7 doubles. Murphy, 14 doubles. Smith, 12 home runs. Murphy, 13 bombs. If you look at F4, Murphy has him by a smidgen. Defensively, probably just a little bit better, but they got it right.
They got it right.
Here's my concern, though. My concern is that you get JD Martinez, a little bit of an unexpected all-star heading into the season. Absolutely deserves that spot. We're going to talk about him in a second here. You knew Freddie Freeman was going to be a lock. You knew Mookie Betts, he was going to be a lock. He's on pace for 30 doubles, 40 home runs, putting together another elite season in Dodger Blue. But now you got 9 players remaining for the players to vote for. And then you got 6 players that the front office can vote for too. And that to me is a little scary because when the league office has to pick those players, you have to have 1 player represented for each team. I think that's why the All-Star Game is the most flawed All-Star Game in any sport because you need a player from the A's.
Fair.
Okay, you don't need that. To me, we should fix this All-Star Game. I think what they should do, don't bring up a problem unless you have a solution. My solution is you have a blue ribbon committee headlined by me and Clint Pasillas. Throw some guys from Fangraphs, throw some guys from Baseball Savant, throw some former players in there, former All-Star players, some coaches, some managers, and then you formulate the All-Star Game, you formulate the All-Star team, and then you see who gets to start. But to me, I think it's a deeply flawed system, and I'm concerned with the reputation of a JT Realmuto. Sometimes it takes a couple years to change the perception.
Absolutely.
My big fear is that Realmuto, who's not having a great season, not even a bad season, but Smith has been superior. But what if he gets in over Will Smith? That to me would be an absolute snub. That to me would be ridiculous on all levels.
I think at this point, Will is going to get in. Dodgers, Dave Roberts. Sorry, word's bad this morning. It's so early. Dave Roberts has been very vocal. A lot of people have been very vocal about the fact that this is Will Smith's year. This is the year he needs to be an all-star. Evan Phillips talking about a couple weeks ago with our friends over at Foul Territory, saying that like, yeah, you know what, whatever. I wasn't an all-star last year, but it was an absolute travesty that Will Smith was not an all-star last year. On the other hand, we've been saying that about Julio the last couple of years. He should have been an all-star in 21. He should have been an all-star in 22. And you do have that problem with you need to have representation on from each team. So my solution is we go old school. We get every single player and we line up. And then like you have that. 2 managers and you pick that guy and you pick that guy and the fat kid gets picked last.
Hey, I don't know about that. I mean, hey.
And it's an all-star game. Just have fun. Why does it need to
look.
be like the same? Let them have 12 players on the field. Have 4 outfielders. Have, an extra infielder up the middle. Like, have some fun with it. Yeah, offense is more exciting. It's more fun, but make it exciting, make it fun, and make it something different than just, hey, we're going to play the same game for no real reason.
Look, I agree with you, and I think the one time they went with a drastic change, they were dramatic with it. You know what happened? Bud Selig, he ends up going for a ridiculous idea where the winner of the All-Star game got home field advantage. That was a monstrosity. That was a terrible, terrible idea. But also, too, I think that when you look at these players, it makes sense. It makes sense for them to want to be an all-star because you see it in the value, see it in their contracts. Teams, they want to assign players that they can say to their season ticket holders, hey, he's a one-time all-star. He's a 2-time all-star. It impacts their contract. So, yeah, I think when you look at Will Smith, he absolutely has to be an all-star. If he is not an all-star, I will not watch baseball again in my life for one day, and then I'll be back. But I will be furious And yeah, I think if you want to talk about,
I was going to say that Bud Selig move really makes me want to take a nap, or at least just shield myself from the world. And I'm going to do that with my Manta Sleep mask, because having home field advantage in the World Series determined by the outcome of a useless game in the middle of middle of the summer is stupid as hell. So I'm gonna sleep that one off.
Pure insanity. But Manta Sleep, they make the world's best sleep masks and sleep accessories. Everything they do is to enable better lives through better sleep. They work relentlessly to improve and optimize sleep so that you can have the energy to live your best life. Check out mantasleep.com today so you can sleep better anywhere, anytime. Get your Manta mask today. Use the code DN2023. So message to MLB players, I know you watch the show. Do not sleep on Will Smith. He's been the best catcher in Major League Baseball as far as overall offensive production since he made his big league debut against the Mets on May 28, 2019. That's when I dubbed him the Clutch Prince after that hit he had against the Phillies, that home run. So, yeah, he absolutely deserves to be there. Can't say that enough. But how about Freddie Freeman? Got to mention him for a second. Freddie franchise. We talk about the great contracts that Andrew Friedman has signed. This might be right at the top.
In my opinion, this is the best free agent deal that Friedman has done, best free agent deal the Dodgers have done in possibly all time. We're talking free agent deals. This could be right up there as the best. Who do you put above him as a free agent deal? And no, we're not talking about them re-signing Clayton Kershaw when he opted out, like being fair, being real, bringing it a player from another team.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Kevin Brown sells over 24 WAR. I mean, people don't even realize it. They made him the first $100 million man. Yeah, but I think that Freddie Freeman,
that's an illegal name amongst Dodger fans, man.
Dodger fans that don't know the facts. I mean, come on now.
If you don't know the facts,
if you don't know the facts, then you gotta.
Thank you.
There you go. But yeah, no, I think Freddie Freeman, he's on pace to be. We're in year 2 of a 6-year deal, but through 2 years almost, a year and a half, he has been an elite player. He's been a top 5 to 10 player offensively at $27 million a year. There's no question about it. He's actually the 3rd Dodgers first baseman to be in the All-Star game. You got Gil Hodges. They haven't had a starter and first base at the All-Star game since Steve Garvey in 1981. So
that's
great
nuts.
To see Freddie franchise, Fredericks of Hollywood get it done.
That's absolutely nuts. That could be a great segue. I could very much use that as a great segue into the Corey Seager conversation, because Freddie was the perfect replacement in the lineup, batting second for the Dodgers, taking over that spot that Corey Seager has had. But I don't want to talk about Corey yet. I do want to point out the first ever Dodgers designated hitter representing the team in the All-Star game, JD Martinez. In the illustrious this franchise, history of this franchise.
Yeah,
barely getting the DH.
I can't believe it. I mean, this is a franchise that's been around since 1883. They've never had a DH in the All-Star game.
Crazy.
To me, that is absurd. Of course, JD Martinez, more than deserving. We're going to talk about him a little bit in our Who's Cold, Who's Hot segment. But yeah, JD Martinez, he's been everything the Dodgers could have hoped that he would be, and then some. And I also want to say special shout out to Mookie Betts and Robert Van Scoyoc. Without those two, there's no way that JD Martinez signs a 1-year, $10 million deal with this team. Of course, you got the Boris background too, but he's a guy who's got his career back on track. He set himself up for another nice payday. And I think that he's been absolutely fantastic. You saw that on display last night. Man, that guy owns Coors Field. It is JD Martinez's field in Colorado. He was an absolute monster.
He picked up like 14 points in his average or something like that, going 7 for 14 or whatever it was. That's
just
nuts.
Dingers.
Just dingers. We love them. Let's get into a few of the comments here. CRaz951 says Mookie announced for Home Run Derby. Of course, yeah, we didn't really talk too much about Mookie, but deservingly so. You know, he has 20 bombs this year. He was always going to be one of the guys voted in. He's one of the most popular players in the game. Of course, he's going to get voted in to the All-Star game and also going to hit in the Home Run Derby.
Yeah, Mr. Klein, I actually want to get your thoughts on that too, because I see people out there, they're upset with Mookie Betts saying, if he's going to do the Home Run Derby this year, why didn't he do it last year when it was at Dodger Stadium? Well, I'll tell you, things can change in 1 year. And his wife, Brianna, told him that that's one of the last things he hasn't done. This year, 20 home runs, that's 7th. He's a guy who's on pace to hit 40 home runs. And this time last year, he didn't know if he was a 35 home run guy, right? I mean, the home run thing, as far as him going up there, being aggressive, a guy that's leaving the yard. And also, too, he has made a commitment to himself to make baseball cool again, right? To try to be a guy that can be one of the faces of the league with his podcast. I think it makes total sense. I will say T-Mobile Park, not the best park for home runs for righties, just as Adrian Beltre, right? I mean, some of these guys haven't had as much success, but I think it's kind of absurd to say, oh, he should have done it last year, but he's doing it this year. I see people out there saying that. He is going to have Clay McCullough throwing to him, which I think is really cool. Had some really nice things to say about Clay McCullough. I thought that was nice. Yeah. I see people out there saying, oh, he should have Alex Vesia throw him the ball,
bruh,
because that would help him hit home runs. I think that's, come on. Don't mess with Vesia. No Vesia with Alex Vesia like that. Come on now. But yeah.
I don't think he can get called up again.
Question for you, Clint. Does he make it out of the first round?
First round? Oh, man. I you know what? Gut instinct says yeah, but I also lived through the Yasiel Puig, Hesop Choi, Matt Kemp playing, hitting in the, not trying to hit in the home run derby and it failing pretty bad. So, but I think he gets out of the first round. Yeah, I think we'll be pleasantly surprised. I mean, Mook's got some pop, man. Yeah. You know, one of the things I'm also excited about, and then let's get the hell out of this topic.
39 home runs for Jock. I think that for Mookie, I think he's more of a
yeah.
I mean,
I was like, right now, no,
Jock 39 home runs in the first round. I don't think he's gonna do anything like that. But I think he definitely wants to make it out of that first round. But I do think, though, he's more of a, you know, in basketball, you have an in-game dunker versus a dunk contest dunker, right? Sean Kemp, guys like that. More in-game dunkers, LeBron James. I think he's more of an in-game home run hitter than a guy that's going to go out there and hit dingers consecutively. But I still think that he has a lot of pride. He's going to make it out of that first round. And, hey, who knows? He can be a sneaky pick to win it all.
And one thing I'm really excited about is this happening at T-Mobile Park. Safeco Field is the cameras are insane there. It's a beautiful park to watch a game be played at on TV. Like that's gonna be fun because it got that little string camera that zips around. So that's cool. That'll be fun. That'll be useful for the what is this 108th All-Star, whatever, 93rd or 4th, whatever. It's gonna be good for the All-Star game.